Hello everyone and welcome to the Starseed Dragon channel. This is our intuitive exercise for the day and we are using the tiny sun and moon deck in a tin. It's my favorite travel deck. I take it everywhere with me and it is very well loved, as you can see. So let's get started. We have Four of Pentacles, the Hermit, which we had yesterday, right? King of Swords, the Six of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Cups. So the Hermit and the Wheel of Fortune are major arcana, which represent major events and situations in our lives that will not go unnoticed, right? And you'll know it when it happens, right? Because I mean, they're not something that are subtle. That's for sure. The Suit of Pentacles is earth element, and that has to do with everything that is in our material world, okay? And Suit of Swords, air elements, has everything to do with the mind. The Suit of Cups is water element and is based in emotion and intuition, feeling, right? So let's go through the meanings of these cards for you. So the Four of Pentacles, I like the Four of Pentacles. It gets a bad rap. A lot of people, a lot of readers tend to read into the Four of Pentacles from the negative aspect. And the negative aspect of that is holding on to what you have too tightly and afraid of losing what you have, right? But here's the thing about the Four of Pentacles. The number 4 is about stability, okay? About creating solid foundations, having a solid foundation. And Pentacles, which is earth element, it has everything to do with the material world that we live in, this earth world, right? So prosperity, love, happiness, physical interactions and relationships, right? Whether it's familial or intimate relationships or friendships, right? So for me, most of the time, sometimes I can see the negative aspect in the Four of Pentacles, just as I can see the negative aspect in every card. But for the most part, I usually see the Four of Pentacles as, stability in the material world, gaining that foundation and making sure that it is a solid foundation to continue building your life on so that you can achieve that Ten of Pentacles legacy wealth, right? So that's how I tend to view the Four of Pentacles, unless, the cards around it imply otherwise, right? So the Hermit is about introspection, going within, dealing with your shadow work, shining a light on the shadow or negative aspects of your inner self, right? We all have them. And coming to terms with them, befriending them, acknowledging them, understanding how the shadow side of ourselves builds, adds to, and is part of our character, the strength of our character, our entire being. Shining light on that, and when you shine light on your shadow, it's releasing that fear. We fear what we do not know. That's just human nature, right? So getting to know yourself in that manner is very freeing and enlightening, and it allows you to shine your light from within. And it's all about guiding yourself down the path you were meant to or destined to go down, right? So the King of Swords, in the court cards, the kings are, the rulers of their kingdoms, right? The King of Swords is all about honesty, truth, knowledge, education, strategy, right? The negative aspect of the Suit of Swords, with it being, all in your mind, there's no emotion involved, right? The negative aspect is mind manipulation. So the King of Swords in the negative aspect could be someone who is a master of mind manipulation, or maybe egotistical, narcissistic tendencies, right? So depending on the cards that surround it and how they connect with one another will depend on, which aspect outweighs the other as far as positive or negative, right? And he's all about, giving good counsel, and he knows when people are BSing him, right? Just like the Queen of Swords, she knows. She knows probably better than the King of Swords when someone's BSing her. So the Six of Cups speaks to nostalgia, right? Cups is emotions, feelings, intuition. It speaks of nostalgia and having feelings towards your past, the life you lived in the past. From a soul aspect, it could be that there is a remembrance of a soul contract that you signed going into this current life, right? And a soul contract would be, okay, your soul said, I want to experience XYZ in this lifetime. And when you do your inner work with the Hermit, and this Six of Cups being part of this message, this is saying that when you're doing your inner work, you're realizing what aspects of that soul contract that you signed going into this life you have achieved or need to achieve, and it'll help you to redirect yourself if you need to be redirected, right? So that you can accomplish whatever that soul contract you signed with yourself before coming into this life would be, right? This is not a soulmate card. It's not. The Two of Cups is a soulmate card. So just remember that, and be careful with nostalgia, because nostalgia is looking at your past through rose-colored lenses, and the past is never as bright and shiny and glamorous as what our nostalgic brain remembers it, because we have a tendency to forget how hard it was for us to learn whatever lessons we were learning from the past, because we've grown from it and we've become stronger because of it, but we seldom remember those aspects. So be careful with nostalgia. Nostalgia is a very tricky word for me. It's very tricky because, it glamorizes things and makes a distortion of what the past really was. So be careful of that, because sometimes we just choose to look at the glittery parts, and the parts that are not so glittery, we pour some more glitter on. So be careful with that. So the Wheel of Fortune. It can turn in either direction, either for you or against you, depending on how the cards in the spread connect with one another, right? The positive aspect is the Wheel of Fortune, good fortune coming your way, right? Fortune working in your favor. The negative aspect is the opposite. Fortune escaping you or fortune going against you, depending on what kind of karmic debt you've got, how the cards are laid out, what the story is, right? So that all depends. I like to see more of the positive aspect, obviously. I think everyone does, but there is some trickery here with this nostalgia, because we have the Five of Cups, and the Five of Cups speaks to grief, loss, sorrow, right? And this card says disappointments. Yeah, it is disappointing when you have certain expectations and they don't happen to go the way that you thought they would, right? Whether it's with human interaction, whether it's with work environment, or building a business, or whatever the case may be. Whatever the situation is, it's when you don't win at it, when it doesn't go the way that you thought it would, there is loss and sorrow and disappointment. However, there's always a lesson, right? You never walk away from anything you involve yourself in empty-handed. There's always a lesson to be learned, even if it's a disappointing situation, or you're grieving or feeling loss or heartache. It's there's always a lesson to be learned in it, and it depends on your strength of character. It depends on how you choose to see things. It depends on whether or not you can actually take a step back for it and say to yourself, okay, what is the lesson here? What is the lesson that I need to learn from this? And it's not, in the heat of the moment, it's not fair to you or to the other party, if it's a human interaction kind of thing, to make that snap decision. You have to take a step back and breathe and go, okay, what is the lesson that I needed to learn? It's not on them, it's on you. You need to learn a specific lesson, otherwise you wouldn't have experienced it. The opportunities that you were meant to experience will never pass you by. And sometimes those opportunities are learning about the more negative aspects of life, right? The more heart-wrenching, terrible things, right? Life isn't always, a bucket of roses. Sometimes you get the thorns. So the number 5 is the number of challenge and change. So the challenge here is on an emotional level, and it's challenging you to come to terms with your emotions, to embrace your emotions, to understand your emotions, and to be able to balance your emotions out. I forgot to mention for the 6 of Cups, the number 6 is about generosity, victory, overcoming challenges. So we have a 5 of Cups and a 6 of Cups. This challenge of grief and disappointment and everything will be overcome because we have the 6 of Cups. So we go from the 5 to the 6. 6 is about home. It's about generosity. It's about you have a foundation and you have 2 cups left over that you can share with others and be generous with others while still maintaining your foundation, right? So, it's good it's a good thing to have. And, you know, sometimes challenges are a little overbearing, but that's life. I mean, we wouldn't understand or appreciate happiness if it wasn't for grief and sorrow and disappointment, right? Always seeing and experiencing and feeling the other side of the coin is helpful for you to appreciate both sides of the coin. We can't have one without the other. It's just not possible. We have to have a balance of both, right? So we got 2 fairy wisdom oracles today because, you know, I take jumpers, so 2 jumped out today. So let's see what we got. Coffee break, number 2. Isn't she pretty? Coffee break. Let me see, number 2. Let me read from the book. Oh, opened right up. Coffee break. Keyword, appreciation. Isn't that something? Sit back and appreciate your life. Relax with a cup of coffee or tea and make a point of consciously bringing to mind all that you have to be grateful for. Consider your blessings, a place to sit, a cup to drink from, a drink to enjoy. What could be better? Gaze upon your surroundings and see all that is around you. Are you not truly blessed? This fairy would love to have a leisurely cup with you. So often we take for granted what we have. It's time to live in constant state of gratitude. Gratitude plays a big part in the process of attracting what you desire into your life. Gratitude tells the universe that you are ready to welcome more good into your life. It is a vital part of your manifestation process. To reach the state of gratitude, you need to stop and place yourself into a receptive state of mind. Relax and calmly consider your life and all that you have been blessed with. Whatever thoughts you think are reflected in your body. So it is important to take these small breaks and to just sink into serenity. Remember to take the time to relax and rejuvenate. Be sure to notice when the smallest blessings that surround you. A wonderful fragrance on the wind, a butterfly flying by, a baby's smile and laugh, the most subtle sigh. You can find a blessing in everything in your world. Just be open to it. And the chant is, O life that lives in all creation, grant me the ability to just be. Help me call upon my inner sight in order to see everything is in my world in its true beauty and majesty. I gratefully abide by your love, so be it. Take a longer coffee break today. Well, that actually is a wonderful connection with these cards. What do you think? Then we got Fairies, number 20. Isn't she pretty? Fairies. Okay, let me read that one, number 20. Isn't that funny? Number 2 and number 20. So you might see 2s, right? Or whoever we are pretend reading for. 2s would be a significant key, right? Something that might be maybe acknowledgement, intuitive nudge, right? So number 20, Fairies. Keyword is spirit realm. Okay. This card represents the realm of fairies and the fairy within you. If this card comes to you, it reveals an inborn ability to tap into spirits of the mystical realm. You may find that you are enhanced with an otherworldly, magical, fairy-like quality. You may come from a long line of fairy ancestors, carrying the bloodline of these ancients. Others may notice something just a bit different about you. The word eccentric might come to the minds of some who are acquainted with you. But do you care? No. And that is how it should be. You may see, hear, and know things others do not. Administering healing energy may be your talent. There is a special twinkle in your eye. These are the eyes that can see fairies and communicate with all the elementals. You work with the heavenly as well as the earthly spirits. You are a gifted person, intuitive and capable of easily channeling the energies of the universe. Remember to always use this power for the highest good. Always ask that you be guided in its use and that no one comes to harm through your ministering. Remember to keep your ego out of your spirit work, for therein lies your downfall. Give credit where credit is due. Spirit does the work. And the chant is, I joyously embrace my uniqueness. I embrace all that comes from Spirit. I allow Spirit to move within my being and to assist the growth of others as well as myself. I know that all healing comes from Spirit, and I graciously accept the gifts bestowed upon me. And as such, I bring only honor to the name of Spirit. So be it. Sprout your wings today. Beautiful. My spirits are coming by today. My candle's cracking. And it's not a wood wick. So every once in a while, when one of my spirit guides is nearby, they make my candle crack. I burn a candle all day, every day. So that way I can talk to the spirits around me. So when it crackles, it's telling me that it's reminding me that Spirit is, or my spirit guides are letting me know that something is afoot. So we have moon magic cards. I shine my light outwards for all to see. Beautiful. And then we have gratefully, I surrender my struggle. Isn't that something? These messages from the fairy cards really go hand in hand with the messages from the moon magic cards today. Isn't that something? How are these oracles connecting with today's cards? Let me know in the comment section below. I love reading your comments. I really appreciate you sharing your perspective. It gives me new perspective for myself, and it helps me to learn new things, and hopefully there are things that I'm helping you with as well. It's an exchange of energy. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.